Dublith.
Dublith.
Not in Dublin.
Not Dublin, Dublith.
I want to go to Dublin.
Let's go to Dublin. I see that on that one.
That's the part of Ireland I never went to.
Really?
What was it? Northern Ireland.
Northern Ireland. Northern Ireland.
Which is part of the UK because bad stuff.
Just reasons. Don't think about it.
Well, it's not great. Because it's messy.
It is messy.
So messy that even when Brexit happened,
Brexit, yeah.
and they were all like,
Breakfast
can we
happened.
maybe just put a border between the islands? And they're like, no.
No.
Do you know what happened last time? People died.
Irish unification. Let's go. For legal reasons, I didn't say that. Let's see. All right. You ready?
Yes.
Let's wrap it up for today. Oh my God.
Sought and managed to survive. I doubt you even know how impressive that is.
No.
Regardless, I can't accept the decision you made. You're expelled.
But teacher...
Ow.
The trains are still running. Get on one.
Thank you for everything.
Aw. All right, so we are back talking about Fullmetal Alchemist Brotherhood, episode 13, Beasts of Dublith. Dara.
Yes.
We got some reveals in this episode.
I have theories. I have questions.
Oh my God, I cannot wait to hear your theories. I think we should do a plot synopsis first so we know what all we're referencing.
Uh-huh.
But, like, let's do it.
Probably do it quickly because your computer's on fire.
Mm-hmm. My computer doesn't sound like it's about to take off. Anyway, so when we start the episode, Izumi is basically like, hey, y'all did some bad stuff. Like, of course, they have that moment last episode of like, hey, man, it's okay. Now Izumi's like, hey, you did a thing that was not good. You are officially expelled as my students. And they're like, all right, well, that's fair. Guess we'll leave. Beasts of Dublith.
Feel free to drop by if you're ever in town.
I'm not so sure about that.
You idiots! You're so busy pouting you can't see what your expulsion means. You aren't her students anymore, so now you're finally free to speak to Izumi as equals. Unless, of course, you're too chicken to try it.
Nice.
Damn! Al, we haven't done what we came here to do in the first place. Thank you. We're heading back there right now.
Don't let her kill you.
I love Sig.
He's a good husband.
And at the train station...
Yeah, but like, even then, I'm kind of like, okay, but like Izumi's established, like, yeah, she's a very, like, tough and aggressive woman, but she's also a very kind and loving woman.
Yes. Yeah, but Ed and Elle are also stupid boys, so...
Fair? I mean, it's a good thing her husband's there. What's her husband's name again?
Sig.
Sig.
Yeah.
He's good. I like Sig.
We like Sig. This is a pro-Sig household. But they go off to the train station to leave. They're like, okay, well, we came to ask about the Philosopher's Stone. Guess that's it. Let's go. And Sig comes back and is like, stop by any time. And they're like, we don't think she'll like that. And he's like, you guys are idiots, because now that you're expelled as her students, you're no longer in a position of unequal power where she's like teacher student. You are now on like equal level. So like you can talk to her and say whatever the hell you want.
She might still punch you.
Yeah. And the boys are like, oh my God, wait, we're idiots. Let's go back and talk to her.
Teacher? What the hell are you doing coming back here? And you call me teacher? I do not teach scum like you! Get out of my home! Teacher!
We came to you because we're trying to find a way to get our bodies back.
And we won't leave without your help. Get out now! We're staying!
Nice.
Nice.
You idiots.
Yes.
Yep. So they kind of buckle down. She doesn't want to talk to them first, but they're like, we're not moving. And then they have a conversation about the Gate, Truth, Philosopher's Stone.
We need to get Al's memory back. His entire
What?
body was taken from him. Just think what he must have seen.
Oh yeah, we only exchanged parts of our bodies for what we saw. But Al paid the toll with his entire physical being. He must have seen more of the truth than either of us did.
So, if I can remember what I saw, then we'll know how to get our bodies back?
But the memory of that thing...
Thing.
What, is it something bad?
No, it's more like awful.
Yeah, horrifying.
Is it a demon?
Insane. Or even leave you brain dead.
Oh, poor Al. And we have this conversation. It was so funny because I was waiting for this in the last episode and we didn't get it. And I was like, oh, because it happened here. When they're talking about like seeing truth, Ed and Izumi have seen it. Like,
yes.
They went through the whole experience. Al should have, but does not recall.
But like he died.
He didn't die though.
He got slurped.
He kind of got slurped, but he would have like that. His body still would have had to pass through the gate.
Okay.
So, like, he would have been there, but for some reason, he doesn't have any memories, whether it was because of the shock of it all or because of how everything happened. He's not able to access that, and so I like when they're talking about, like, what it looks like. They're like, yeah, it's like this. It's like, it's scary. Ooh. So they have this conversation, basically...
I thought they were talking about the demon thing, originally, because I thought Al didn't say
not the demon, but, like, you remember when he got slurped and, like, the thing came out and was, like...
Yeah, but like I guess like I thought that also Al didn't see the demon thing because Ed was like, you know what, let's not traumatize my brother more.
Yeah, correct. So they're kind of talking about that, and they're trying to speculate, well, like, how do we get our bodies back? Because that's what they want to talk to Izumi about. They're like, how do we get our bodies back? Like, how do you think we should do it? And Izumi kind of speculates that, like, we basically need Al to figure out what went on there, and that's going to give us some clues on how to get his body back.
Also, question, so if we can figure out a way to get their bodies back, can we get Izumi's organs back?
That's a great question. That's a great question.
I just want her to have a happy life with Zig.
I just want her to be happy. She deserves the world. She does.
Adopt some kids.
Yeah, right. Oh my god, she's a sweetheart. I do love her. So anyway, that's kind of where they're at. They're like, okay, the next step here is help Al get his memory of the gate back, and then maybe that will give us a kickstart of what direction we need to go in to get bodies. Cool.
All right. I have an acquaintance that might know a way to retrieve your memory for you. But let's eat dinner first. Give me a hand.
Oh, Al can't even eat.
Papa?
True. He's able to transmute human souls.
Gluttony?
No.
What?
No, it's not gluttony.
Who was it?
Another guy.
Hey!
It's fine. Izumi says she has a friend that might be able to help them out. And while that's happening, we see somebody outside listening in and being like, ooh, somebody wants to know about this. And like scuttles off. They have a tail. I think you missed the tail at first. I'm not sure if you missed the tail, but they have a tail.
I saw the tail.
Yeah. Hard to miss the tail.
I thought it was Gluttony first because it kind of had like the voice of Gluttony.
It's stylistically similar to Gluttony. I mean, they look different, but it's like
it's different. No,
somebody's going to want to hear about this.
Yeah, it's different, but it's not.
There's only 1 week left until the big transfer, huh?
Yes, sir.
It just won't be the same without you. You brought a little color to this dreary desert.
Mm-hmm.
I'm boring compared to some of the stories I've heard about you.
Well, all of your hard work has made my life easier. Finally got to relax.
And I feel like I've grown as an officer, thanks to the variety of work you've allowed me to take on.
Mm-hmm. Meanwhile, we're going to take a break from them for a little bit because we have a couple other characters that we need to catch up with. We're going to catch up with Mustang, we're going to catch up with Scar, not at the same time. But first we'll go to Mustang, and he's playing chess because, of course, smart guys like to play chess, with Lieutenant General Grumman, and which this is specifically referencing something that gets called back to later. So, like, there's a motif with Mustang's team and chess, so that's kind of why this is the framing device for this part. But basically, Mustang is he's getting transferred to Central, so he's kind of making his way up the ranks. So he's getting
Sergeant Kane Fury, Warrant Officer Vato Fallman, Second Lieutenant Hymens Breda, Second Lieutenant Jean Havoc, First Lieutenant Riza Hawkeye. Gather up your things. All 5 of you are transferring to Central with me. And no objections. Understood.
I've got a problem, sir. See, I just started dating this girl and I really like her.
Dump her.
transferred to like where the action is happening, and he beats Lieutenant General Grumman in a chess game, and he's basically like, cool, this is what my prize is going to be. And basically, as his, his parting gift is that he gets to take his team with him. So it's not just Mustang moving to Central. He gets to take Lieutenant Hawkeye, Second Lieutenant Gene Havoc, Second Lieutenant Breda, Warrant Officer Fallman, Master Sergeant Fury. So those, we'll see more of them later.
So we're moving.
Yeah.
No questions asked.
Moving the whole thing. Havoc does say he's got a girlfriend, but they're like, just let it go, man. Just let it go.
I'm just thinking, like, do they have enough dates to pack up their house?
I've seen these people's living quarters. They don't have that much stuff.
Okay.
I can assure you. So, yeah, basically, he just takes the team out and goes. But that gives us some indication of, I feel like we're slowly incorporating Mustang more into the meat of the story. I mean, he's always been there. He's always been a pretty prominent character. Yeah. But I feel like he is slowly kind of making his way. Like,
I feel like in doing so, he's going to learn some stuff that he probably doesn't want to learn.
Yeah. Yeah.
He's gonna get traumatized.
But yes. But at least he gets to bring his team with him. We'll probably see more of his
They're all gonna get
later.
Traumatized?
Mostly Mustang.
Okay. Maybe Hawkeye too, because like,
yeah,
she feels like, I know it's all of them, but she kind of feels like second in command to him. With him,
she's the one keeping the closest eye on him.
As of now, because Hughes is dead.
He's dead. Hughes is dead. We also have to figure out what happened to that guy. So, but that's kind of where we're just catching up with Mustang there, and then we go over to outside of the city.
Hey, buddy.
Hey, buddy.
Come on, not again. Your wounds are never gonna heal if you don't give it a rest.
Yeah, dude.
Master.
Mister.
I'm glad that you're well. I was informed that you've been targeting state alchemists for execution. I know the animosity you feel. A state alchemist is responsible for the burning of our village and the death of our loved ones. But your vengeance will only sow the seeds of further violence.
Outside of East City, we have in that kind of that slum area, Scar is there. He's trying to get better quickly, even though he's probably rushing his body along faster than it needs to. And I think it's his... There's a guy that stops in who knows him, and they kind of have a conversation. Oh, it's his old mentor.
Yeah. And he's kind of like saying like, hey, you're just doing this for revenge. That's not good.
Hey, don't do that. It's like, this isn't serving people the way you think it is.
Which, like, fair?
Yeah.
What you're doing is senseless revenge, and it's feeding a fruitless cycle of death.
Fair.
You must end this cycle once and for all.
Anybody home? Would you look at that? He really is here. He's got the scar and everything.
Looks like you got yourself a deal. We'll split the bounty 3 ways with you. What the? Guess he didn't want the reward.
Yoki,
that guy!
Yeah, that guy.
Something like this.
We took you in and treated you like family when you had nowhere else to go.
Just shut up! I never even wanted anything to do with you, Ishvalans! You lost your war, but
He
I'll
sucks.
rise again!
He's kind
I'll
of funny.
rise up! I will rise!
Well, he's got the mustache.
And I'll use my power to annihilate Edward Elric!
Why? He's like, hey, don't... like break the chain of hatred basically, but they don't really get a chance to like further have this conversation because some guys pop in and they're like, oh, you're that guy, cool, because Scar, of course, he's wanted, he's got a bounty on his head, like people like, if you know where he is, if you sell him out, like you're probably good to go. And these guys have basically been hired by some kind of this schmuck named Yoki, who we've alluded to. We talked about that before. Like, we saw this guy in the manga and in the first anime. We don't see him here, so Darius kind of doesn't know much about this guy.
Was it that comment in that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Basically, he was just a guy in charge of a town. He was stupid and kind of a prick, and the Elrics kind of hand it to him and send him packing. So now he's kind of down on his luck, and he's got a sworn vengeance against Edward Elric. And I guess the one way that he thinks he's going to get his military career back is by cashing in on bounty on Scar.
Okay.
Pretty much.
But like, is there a point to this character? Like, is it just like he's just here because he's in the manga?
He crops up every now and then.
Right, but is there does he do anything, or is he just like there for to be annoying?
Mostly to be funny.
Okay, he's not that funny though.
He'll get funnier.
All right.
I think, hopefully. I actually don't, like, when Yoki came back in the manga, I was like, oh my god, wait, this guy. I thought, like, because in the anime, 2003 anime too, like, you see him in the one episode and then he's gone. But then when he came back, I was like, oh my god, this guy. He's dumb, but I don't mind him.
Nice.
What the hell? What'd you do to him?
I'll give you a moment to pray to God.
You should be the one praying, freak!
He's like, okay, guess you'll die.
No, no, wait. Please, I'm sorry. Please don't kill me. Please, I'm begging you to spare my life. I'll do anything.
Spineless.
So you're leaving, then? Your brother would be sad.
But Scar, like, is not having it. So these jerk bounty hunters who are there, he takes the one guy's hand off, and then he kills the other guy. But of course, like, all the other Ishvalans in the camp, like, they're like, dude, like,
we gotta clean this up now.
Like, that's not cool, man. Like, we're not about that. And
basically, like, if they're not about that, then, like,
yeah.
And the only reason they uprise because something bad happened.
Yeah.
So, like, we went after semi-peaceful people because they had something that we wanted. They wanted.
Quite possibly.
Probably.
Quite possibly.
Probably.
Yeah.
Okay.
We just don't know the details of that yet. Oh, Dara. But they also make a mention of, I think his mentor says something about, like, Scar's family, and then Scar makes mention that he has a brother.
Who's dead.
Yeah.
Okay.
But we don't know anything else, but there's something.
He got a tattoo.
He has, it's, I think the juxtaposition of how it's shown in regards to his, like, arm tattoo is that there's some kind of correlation there.
Yeah.
We don't know what. But Scar's got a brother, because everyone's got brothers they got beef with. Not beef. Ed
and Al.
Yeah.
Don't have beef.
They don't have, no, most of the brothers don't have beef. Like, we had those serial killers, they were cool with each other. I don't know what Scar's relationship with his brother is. I mean,
well,
I know. But
if he's going after for revenge, it kind of sounds like maybe he had a good relationship with his brother.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. But, man, that's why it's called Fullmetal Alchemist Brotherhood. We cracked the code.
Can't wait for the sequel, Fullmetal Alchemist Sisterhood.
Oh my god. Hashtag feminism. Anyway.
Hello?
Mm-hmm.
What?
He's here.
These guys. You've never seen them before.
There you are. About time.
What?
We know your secret. Meet us at the Devil's Nest if you want to talk. I'm guessing you're the people that wrote this note.
So we're going to go back to Dublith, which is where we're going to spend the rest of the episode. We just wanted to check in on a couple people and be like, they're still doing things. It's fine. We'll get back to them later.
But the fun stuff.
But the fun stuff, which is in Dublith, Al is just like out sweeping up and he gets this message and he's like, what? And so he kind of follows where they're telling him to meet. Basically, they're like, hey, we know what's up. Come alone. And he's like, okay, cool. And he meets these handful of people.
That's right. And we know a lot about you.
Well, that's good, because there's a lot about me that I don't know.
Then I'm the guy you want to talk to. Why don't you come with us?
But my teacher always said I'm not supposed to go with strangers.
How old are you?
14.
Well, come on then. I'd say 14 is old enough to think for yourself, kid. You gotta act like an adult. Start taking some risks.
You think so? I should think for myself?
Yes, and you can start by coming with
So I thought it over for myself.
Nice.
And I decided that I should just make you tell me what I want to know.
So you want to do this by force?
Dulcetteroa and Martel, who are interesting.
The mozzarellas are back?
The mozzarellas are back! Hooray!
I wanted to call them some kind of... I was like, oh, I miss the rigatonis.
I miss the rigatonis.
But I know the name was Martel, but that's the name we gave them.
Yeah.
So they really don't know, do they?
Sorry to drop in.
don't think so.
Hold still.
Feels a little dirty.
So what's it like having someone control you from inside?
You can't stop me from moving, and you're not strong enough to hold this up forever!
You're right. But all I'm trying to do is slow you down a little.
For my turn.
Somebody save the baby!
You all right in there?
Oh, I'm wonderful.
You're making this way too hard, kid.
You people aren't human, are you?
Good guess. They're chimeras. And
What?
they happen to work.
But they seem vaguely human adjacent because they're a little weird. Like the one guy has a tail. The one girl can kind of like her arms are like.
They seem vaguely mobbish.
They seem vaguely like
they're gangish.
They do seem like a gang, because they like operating out of like a club or something.
They're like they might just walk around
bar.
like snapping.
They got tattoos, they got something going on. But they want to take him to see their boss. I love this. I love the exchange where it's oh my gosh, what's his name? It's the one guy.
The dog guy?
The dog guy. So the dog guy. He like has a thing. He's like, hey, we'll answer your questions if you come with us. And I was like, my teacher told me not to go with strangers. And the guy's like, how old are you? He's like, and like Al, who's like towering over everyone, goes, 14? And the guy's like, well, you're 14. You can think for yourself.
And then he's like, okay,
I'll think for myself.
Punch.
And he's like, I decided I'm not going to go with you until you answer my questions.
Bye.
I love Al so much.
He does get captured, though.
He does get captured. He does get brought in because the one Marcello like jumps into his suit, so like they seem pretty obvious, like they know that he's just a soul, like a soul to a suit of armor. So they use that to their advantage to disable him and then bring him in.
That guy?
That guy.
Fullmetal Alchemist.
Roa, Beto, Martel, Falsetto.
Fullmetal
Greed.
Son of a bitch!
Cool. You're actually hollow. The name's Greed, and I want to be your friend.
Then why don't you tell me what you people really are?
Huh?
You're not chimeras. It's impossible. No one's made a chimera that can talk.
And then we get to
meet the leader?
We get to meet the leader, who is Greed.
Yeah.
Which is, of course, one of the 7 deadly sins.
Yes.
How'd you feel about that, Dara?
A little bit confused, because I'm like, so is this part of the plan? But then the more that Greed talked.
Mm-hmm.
Cow?
Yeah.
We've also got a lizard and a crocodile.
Cool.
And the little runt you took down earlier tends to lift his leg when he pees.
Only once!
Part dog?
Yep. It's really not so bad.
I don't believe it. It's not possible. Who would even be capable of creating one?
The military.
Are you saying?
You got it. There's a shadow world beneath yours that's jam-packed with the impossible. Hell, I'm more uncommon than they are. I'm a homunculus.
There it is!
Homunculus?
You know what that means, right?
The more I'm like, but so he's so like really like, I think it made me realize like, oh, not all the 7 deadly sins are like involved with whatever the 3 that we met have been doing.
Correct. Yeah.
Because he kind of seems like he's doing his own thing.
Greed is very much doing his own
making
thing.
chimeras for reasons. Yeah,
so pretty much Greed explains that, first of all, people around him, they are actually all chimeras. And of course, Al's really major example of chimera
is trauma.
Yeah, what Joe Tucker did, which he wasn't able to make a long-living chimera that talked. So he's like, chimeras can't talk, like much less be people in the way that these guys are. And Greed kind of explains, that's the military for you, baby. There's a whole kind of underground thing going on.
Well, that makes sense if you think of Shel Tucker, because like he was...
And yeah, exactly. So there was some crazy stuff going on here that in the military, and they were making some animal-human hybrids. So, for example, Martel's like part snake, the one guy was part dog, and that guy was like part cow, pretty much. And right, so they kind of mixed these humans with genetics of animals, and that's how they got this Greed's gang right there. And so it is interesting. And Greed also explains that he himself, he's not a chimera. He is another thing that we have seen a bunch of.
It's not a spirit, which
No.
I assumed that they all were.
I'm an artificially created human. Really? No joke.
But he's a spirit, isn't he? I'm confused. No.
Homunculus?
It's a person made from alchemy.
But doesn't that book say you're not supposed to try and make people? You're lying! A homunculus is just a theory! Nobody's made one!
Oh man. Guess I gotta prove it.
Why'd you do that to him?
This guy's loving it. Correct. You had this idea of what these characters were. I'm here to tell you. Greed is what's called a homunculus, which in this case it's meant like an artificially created person. And so they say human, but like we know the homunculi are not human. They have some very inhuman capabilities. For example, like you can chop their head off, it'll come back.
So they're all homunculuses.
They're all homunculi. So all the seven deadly sins are homunculi. And I've been waiting for so long because I keep being like, oh yeah, so the homunculus or like the homunculi, and they're like, nope, because I didn't want to spoil that for you because homunculus is a word that has definition on its own. Back in like the olden days, people thought like how human conception worked had something to do with homunculi or the homunculus, and it's a whole thing. You can go look it up for yourself. It's very interesting. So, but yes, we heard a homunculus used in Baccano when we watched that.
Yes.
Because that was actually a really good memory, because I think whenever I hear the word
I'm like,
homunculus,
I heard the word, and I'm like, wait, I've heard that word.
Yeah, and I totally forgot if like Ennis was called a homunculus, because whenever I think of homunculus, I think of Fullmetal Alchemist. So yeah, and she was like an artificially created person as well, and these are created in a specific way. Obviously, I won't get into the details because that would be spoilers. But we finally have an answer of what these guys are. Especially, we can see Greed also has the Ouroboros tattoo, even though he's not in with the other deadly sins. He's off doing his own thing. He's still kind of a member, or at least sounds like former member of that crew. Which, oh, man, there's so much I want to say to that.
I have a theory.
Dara, tell me your theory.
Okay, so we know they're homunculus, which means that like they're not actually the seven deadly sins. They're just created by somebody.
Yes.
I think the Fuhrer might have created them.
Okay.
Like, or like got something to create them to do a thing.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not 100% sure what or why, because it's something with like, I guess like my assumption would be to take over the world.
Okay.
And like that kind of thing. And so like, so there's like a plan, and like, I guess, I don't know, like it's not like a full thing, but I think like something to do because like, they say like, oh, these people are part of the plan, but then I'm like, well, then you need to know that this is going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
But then I'm like, okay, but they all have like special powers, so maybe one of them could see in the future.
Okay.
Or like something like that. Cause I think like the Fuhrer is like the main. This is like the top of the pyramid.
Okay.
And then like everybody else is like kind of like in between. And like Scar's not part of the plan because he's Ishvalan. So like maybe like something that like some Ishvalan thing like knew what this guy was trying to do, and like he's trying to just like eradicate all of them.
Oh my god. It's your theory is so.
I would like the problem is I'm not gonna ask. I would love to know how close I am or how far I am.
There's some stuff you're missing. Oh my god.
I know there's pieces that I'm missing, but I feel like am I like, and you don't have to answer this. I'm just like, my thing is like, if
I can't tell you.
I wonder if the comments are gonna be like, oh, like you've got like half the puzzle, you're like you're not even close, or like,
you'll probably get both of those comments. But depending on
is
perception,
it a fun theory?
It's a fun theory. It's a very fun theory. I think you should run with
it. I do, but I guess like the more I'm thinking about it, the more I think, just because like. And I'm thinking also, like, if you think of, like, Avatar Last Airbender, where, like, the Fire Lord was, like, the main villain, but he was really in the background. And, like, the Fuhrer has been mainly in the background.
Yeah.
So, like, and put everybody else in, like, everybody else kind of feels, like, more, like, complicated.
Okay. Yeah, that's fair.
And, like, all of the sins that we met, I guess with the exception of Greed, because for reasons.
Mm-hmm.
And, like, I get the feeling, and even like I don't even like, because he says like he doesn't hang out with them, and I'm not even sure if I believe him.
Okay.
I think he might like actually like this might all be part of like some scheme.
I imagine that Greed as someone who.
Let me explain. See, I'm Greed. I want everything you can think of. Money and women, power and sex, status, glory. I demand the finer things. And of course, I crave eternal life.
Aren't you already immortal?
Well, I guess I was put together a little sturdier than most. I am nearly 200 years old, but I wouldn't exactly say that I'm immortal.
What?
So, I've spilled my guts all over, told you my darkest secret. Now it's your turn. How'd you get your body?
Greed is so fun.
Just make this easy and tell him.
Very much embodies Greed. Like, he is very much, he's like, I want it all. He's like, I want money, I want women,
right, but
I want power,
and that's
I want sex. I imagine somebody who's like that is not a person who works well with others.
Right, and I guess like gluttony kind of like represents like gluttony, but then I'm thinking like lust doesn't really represent lust because she's not like.
But she's sexy.
She's sexy, but she doesn't. She's not lustful, and then envy has not really been envious, which is also like suspicious.
Yeah, it's. I think to understand envy's relationship with envy requires a little more analysis on the end. It's not as obvious as like greed, I would say. But that's probably all I'll say about that. But when it comes out, and I can't wait to point this out, and even though it'll be a while, like it's fun to put it all together. Oh my god, I love the show. Oh my god, I love the show. But I'm very excited because we got to learn one about the chimeras, like the underground chimeras, because that doesn't go away. Like these aren't the only guys, and the homunculi, which are kind of a big deal, as we've seen, obviously, because the way they crop up every so often, they're just like, hey, it's us.
But now that we know that all the sins are homunculi, yes?
Yeah,
okay.
We'll safely say that. I think that is safe to say.
Okay.
So, but pretty much what Greed wants out of Al is to just understand the process of how do you bind a soul to an object. Because that sounds cool. I want to know that.
Would he have killed them if they told him? Would
No,
be like,
not
cool,
really.
thanks, bye.
It probably would just be like, cool, thanks, bye. Yeah, or, I mean, if there was something he felt like he could have gotten from them, probably keep going there. Yeah, Greed, and then Greed kind of explains more about homunculus. Greed also says that he is roughly 2 centuries old, so just good to know. Some of them, they might be a little old. Just maybe a little older than the average person.
I wish I could tell you. That would mean I actually remember how I got it.
Oh my god, Al.
But even if I could, I'm not the one who did the transmutation.
That's not a problem. In that case, I'll just ask the person who did.
Where would a foot tall suit of armor run off to?
Happy to tell you where you could find him. But first, you tell me what his secret is.
Good job.
Brother!
Never really crossed my mind that you could get kidnapped.
Brother! This guy's a homunculus!
Are you serious?
Hey, way to ruin it.
Yeah! From him on how to get our original bodies back.
And so, yeah, he's like, hey, tell me how you did that. And I was like, I didn't do that. It wasn't me.
Wait, how many other, like, minority ethnic groups were there in this world? Because it feels like there's only the one, and that's not how society works.
No, there's other countries that exist.
Oh, so we're in like we're in a country, not like the world.
Correct. We're just in a country.
But like usually other countries have more than one ethnicity.
Yeah.
I guess it depends on like where. I guess it depends on where you go.
As the world expands, we'll talk a little bit more about that. Don't worry. When we're talking in terms of genocide, most of the time we are just focused on the Ishvalan Civil War.
Attempted genocide.
Yeah. Oh my God. Jesus Christ. I'm going to hell. But yes. So.
By the way, it's still bad. We're just trying to make light of the horrors.
Trying to laugh in this horrible world that we live in. And anyway, but yeah, I was like, hey, I'm not the one who did that. You're gonna have to talk to that guy, but also don't. But of course, Ed goes looking for Al, and he meets up with the weird lizard guy whose
He's
name
like,
is
I
Vito.
can help.
Yeah.
And then Ed just like beats him up
and like drags him back. And he's like, yo, what's up? And Al immediately goes, that's a homunculus.
Thank
Green
you.
is like, dude, I gave you like this whole thing, like not even building up the suspense or anything.
No.
But they do make like
An Ouroboros tattoo.
Aren't you observant? I was hoping that I'd only have to deal with the little armored giant.
Why don't you just ask your partners whatever you want to know?
Partners?
Yeah, the rest of the Ouroboros gang from the 5th lab. They had a couple
Ouroboros
of
gang?
bonded souls with them as well.
it's not their real names.
You don't say. Well, it's kind of a long story, but we don't talk much anymore.
The concept of a homunculus is a thing in alchemy, so like they are familiar with the concept, but they don't think it was actually a real thing. They're like, that's only a theory, and they're like, no, it's actually this guy.
Well, it's like I thought he was lying, because I was still like the mentality that they're all spirits, and I'm like, you could have just been lying.
Yeah, but no, I want to set the record straight here because that was more of a theory on your part because I didn't want to give away like what exactly.
Well, usually when you say 7 deadly sins,
yeah, you thought they were just more spiritual, but I'm telling you, it's their homunculi that.
So there really is no like fantasy elements here. It's very like sci-fi-ish. I guess because like usually for me like the difference is like with sci-fi there's like usually like they have some kind of like semi like full long like scientific explanation for how things happen.
Oh, okay.
That's my definition of sci-fi. And then like with fantasy when somebody's like how did this like happen, you're just like magic.
Yeah, I mean we can also describe alchemy as a magic system in a way.
I think that's because like there's like a science like behind it, and I guess like granted like that,
alchemy. Alchemy is considered a science in this world,
right? I mean that's a very like, black and white like theory is the difference between sci-fi and fantasy, but like very much like you can like go in between stuff. It's fine.
Yeah, but there's a lot of things here. Usually, the answer is just like I don't know, alchemy. That's how you answer most questions in Fullmetal Alchemist.
Fair.
I don't know. Alchemy. Yes. Anyway, so Ed finally meets Greed. That's when Ed asks him, he's like, hey, what there's other people like you, and he's like, I don't really talk to them. So like it's just me over here. We're good. And then let's see.
That's enough. Shut your damned mouth! Sounds great to you? It seems perfect?
Oh.
You don't know anything about the hell he's had to go through stuck with that body! And you want to know how to transmute a soul? You kidnapped my brother and you want to trade secrets with me? I'm gonna crush you, creeps! I'll smash you and you! And I won't give you slime anything! In other words, there won't be an exchange with you? Scum!
Objection!
I guess we're doing this by force again.
Oh, I do like.
Also,
these guys.
quick question.
Yeah.
So not all the deadly sins are involved in this scheme.
You're a lot slower than a prisoner, I know.
Because Greed says he hasn't talked.
Yeah.
So it's just like
Greed's kind of his own guy.
So as of now, it's like 3 of them.
The armored kid out of here.
Oh yeah. Well, they take Al, and then Ed ends up getting into a fight with Greed, and we get to see. So we talked about before that the 7 deadly sins have like some kind of special power to them. Like envy can shapeshift. Les has deadly fingernails. So what can Greed do? That's his power.
Oh, metal. Oh,
he's the guy. Yep.
Aww.
Yep.
Fun.
So we did it. We did it.
We know who everybody is.
Sorry. That little hand sword of yours is kind of neat, but it can't even scratch.
So then he's not a homunculus. He's a metal guy. And also a spirit.
He's a homunculus.
How is he are they all homunculus?
They're all homunculus. Yes.
So, like, not human.
Correct.
Okay, so I kind of do. So it's like,
artificially constructed semi-human.
So they're spirit-esque.
Oh, that hurt. That move would have hospitalized most people.
Greed is called the ultimate shield, and so he's able to basically like harden his skin and just.
So that guy from the theme.
Yeah, exactly. So now, thank you, Dara. We have officially seen all of the characters. We know who all the characters in the theme song are now.
Yes,
we did it. It took us 13 episodes, but we got here. So everyone in the theme song now has a name because we saw a couple people we knew who they were. For example, like we knew Ed and Al's, we knew that was their dad. We didn't know his name until last episode.
What's his name again?
Van Hohenheim.
So where does Ulrich come from?
That's the mother's last name.
See, that makes me more suspicious.
Okay.
Because, like, they took her last name.
Mm-hmm.
That makes me more suspicious that he was hiding.
It's a better last name, though.
Yes, but I feel like also in that time period, that usually doesn't happen.
Mm.
I know this is, like, it's, like, not...
True. It's very, like, loose time
right,
period.
but usually in that time period, that doesn't usually take the man's last name.
Mm-hmm.
So, I'm thinking that, like, if they took her last name, then, like, he was hiding, and, like, something happened, that's why he had to leave.
Mm-hmm.
He was just a dick about, like, hey, my wife died, I should probably go back to my kids.
Oh, okay.
Or, like, do something to make sure that the kids are okay. You didn't have to, like, even, like, go back.
Yeah. I will say one interesting thing from the last series, from 2003 anime and this anime, is that in the 2003 anime, Hohenheim is his first name, and in this one, it's his last name. It's just, like, an interesting switch. Yeah, so I just think that's funny.
Oh, the comments are going to be fun, aren't they?
I hope so. I hope they're fun.
Merry Christmas.
Happy Hanukkah. Get his butt ass kicked.
Oh, baby.
You dead yet?
We just got out of the hospital.
Right.
Go. You're chock full of piss and vinegar.
Oh my god. This guy's always getting his ass kicked by a homunculi.
Appreciate the effort, but you just can't.
Oh, honey. Where's Al?
So, are you ready to tell me your secret now?
I just wanted my mom back.
Thanks for toying with me.
What?
They start fighting, and it's like a real fight. Like, greed is not a pushover, so it becomes like a real thing. Meanwhile, Izumi and Sig realize that they're missing, so they go hunting and find that I think the one guy finds a thing. He's like, oh, I saw there was like a matchbook that had the name of the bar called Devil's Nest, and so they go on looking, and Ed is fighting.
You gave me just enough time to cool off and start thinking clearly. Is my mechanic amazing or what? Even after all this, it's still working.
How long you want to drag this out, kid? It'd be so much easier if you just stayed down!
Nice.
Oh, nice.
Well, that was bizarre. Good as new.
Honey!
You're so dramatic, Edward.
What was that for?
Greed, he figures out how to break through his ultimate shield because he realizes it's made of carbon, and he uses science to undo that. It's very exciting. And it's a whole back and forth, and then Izumi shows up.
It's actually pretty simple once you think about it. You may be a homunculus, but you really shouldn't have told me that your body is human, considering that means a third of it is made of carbon. The hardness of carbon varies depending on how the atoms are arranged, so it's obvious that's what your shield is made of. Once I got that figured out, the rest is simple alchemy.
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 I'm glad to hear it! It's no fun if it's not a challenge!
And there's one other important thing I noticed. You can't harden your shield and heal at the same time!
Nice.
Nice.
And starts fighting. So that's pretty much the episode.
Yay!
Sorry to barge in like this.
Oh my god, I love her.
Teacher? You damn imbecile!
Oh my god, he's already injured.
Funny not to put the broom away?
I asked you a question! No! I'm so sorry!
Thanks for your hospitality. He definitely needed the exercise.
Teacher, careful! He's a...
Yes, I know. I could hear the two of you all the way down the hall.
Give me a break. Don't tell me you're gonna try and start anything, lady. It's no fun fighting a woman.
Excuse me? Nice.
Well now, just what the hell are you?
You asked what I am.
She's a housewife.
She's a housewife. But yeah, we pretty much just leave on the cliffhanger of figuring out how this fight with Greed is going to end because, I mean, Izumi kicks ass, so, like, it's
Right,
cool. But like, what are they going to do with Al? Like, how is this going to resolve itself?
I'm assuming that everybody's going to be fine.
Yeah.
For the most part.
Yeah.
I'm not saying, like, I'm pretty sure Ed and Al are not going to die.
Yeah.
Assuming I believe in her, but also, like, the homunculus. But that also means that you could technically kill them.
The homunculus?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's true, because Greed does make the comment that his body is technically human, technically mortal, so there is flesh and blood, even though he heals very quickly.
Right, it's just, like, hard to kill them.
Yeah, very hard.
Hence why he's lived for so long.
Exactly. So they're interesting. They're not completely totally immortal, but they're very difficult to get rid of.
Right.
Interesting. Mm-hmm. Interesting. What'd you think of that, Dara?
I mean, like, Cailin, if you really want to, like, you could just, like, sleep on my couch, we can keep going. It's fine.
No, I want to go home.
No, it's okay. I know. You're not chained to the chair or anything. You can go. Fuck.
But anyway, what'd you think of this episode, Dara?
It was good.
You liked it? We got answers.
We did. And I have some more, and I have more questions. I know what's gonna, like, everything's resolved by the end of the show, right?
Yes.
Okay.
I will confidently say that, like,
I think like
things are and
well, I think like with like Baccano, like the thing, like I went on the level of Baccano where like at least like the majority of the stuff was answered, so I was happy.
Yeah. I think with Baccano too, that was something that was a series that like kind of kept going on in the novels. So like they mostly just did the first couple arcs. In that with Fullmetal Alchemist, like this, especially Brotherhood, covers like the entire front to end of the manga, and the manga like ends. It has a very, I personally really like the ending. I think it's very well done. I don't want it to give any more details, but I think there's a high likelihood that you will feel satisfied at the end.
Okay.
I can't guarantee anything.
Do people prefer the endings to the 2003 show or the Brotherhood?
Oh my god, there's such different endings.
Well, because the 2003 was made up for the show.
Yeah, but no, I just mean like the the core makeup of what kind of ending it is are so different between them. I almost forgot how the 2003 one ended, and then I was looking it up and I was like, oh my god, how did I watch this back in the day? Not in the way that it's bad, it's very good, but like, oh man.
We fine.
But no, this one, it'd be very interesting to watch this and then go back and watch the 2003 ending. I feel like I would have to go back and watch this ending. Anyway, I'm saying too much. Anyway, Brotherhood is good. That's all you gotta know.
Yes.
But yes,
and
things will be answered.
And you're leaving me on a cliffhanger again.
Yes, because I love you very much.
I mean, at least you didn't traumatize me. I just was sad at a point. But, like, you didn't traumatize me and then make me sad and then leave. And then cliffhanger and then leave.
Always leave them wanting more is my answer, I think. So, anyway, that's that episode. Let me see if I have any cool episode notes. This episode is adapted from content chapter 25, 26, 27, 28, and 29. Oh my goodness. Curiously, this episode did not air with the title card. I don't think I realized that.
I don't think I did either.
Let's see.
Or probably because like it had like the beginning thing and then it did the theme song and then I think it just started. So like, you're right?
Oh, compared to the original manga, Greed's Ouroboros is upside down. That's interesting. But anyway, that's it. Nothing very interesting there. Fullmetal Alchemist.
Fullmetal Alchemist.
So good. Anyway, that is it for this episode. It was a good time. We learned a lot, and I literally cannot wait to go to the next ones. I mean, we will have to because we are done recording for the day. I need to go home.
I don't know.
It's
Zom, but like...
Hi, Zom. I didn't understand your one comment. I'm really sorry. But I think that is all. We actually need more comments. Guys, we need more comments. We need more comments so we can read them on the show. Because if you recall, we read comments on the show, which is why you should comment. Subscribing would be cool because then you know when we drop new episodes. It's really nice when we do that. We are also available on a variety of social media. We are on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok.
For now.
And somewhere else, we are Underwoody Close. You can also listen to us on the go. We are on iTunes and Spotify, which is really neat. You can also email us, woodyclose@gmail.com if you want to, I don't know, if you have a business proposition for us, if you want feet pics. That's a joke. Legal reasons, that's a joke. And
also money for that.
Also
Patreon.
Money, yes. We also have a Patreon where you can actually give us money. We have a variety of perks available. For example, you can get episodes early. You can join us on our monthly live streams, which we hang out or sometimes watch movies. And you can also listen to or watch our bonus show, First Reaction or Fan Reaction, where we watch shows.
I don't think we have that on audio format.
We do not have that on audio format because it's just, it's fine. You can watch
You don't
it.
have to. Because I was like always wondering with like audio people, like, or audio podcasts have stuff on Patreon. I'm like, how do you watch it? And then I found out like how you can get to it on through Spotify on Patreon.
Oh, okay.
You just like have to lock it.
Interesting.
You don't have to do it. I'm not saying we don't have to do it now. But like,
yeah, no. That's problem for future me. But yeah, there's a variety of ways to keep up with us. We appreciate our patrons. You guys are the best. And you could be the best too if you become a patron today. Anyway, that is all the time that we have for today. Please join us next time. We are still going to be talking about Fullmetal Alchemist Brotherhood. I'm still going to be on the verge of tears about how much I love this show. With episode...
This is like your second favorite show?
It's... I don't know how I would rank it.
I feel like Avatar's your favorite.
Yeah, Avatar's my favorite. This is up there. It's how I feel about Fullmetal Alchemist Brotherhood. It's just a well done show.
Yeah.
Like, you have stuff that's your favorite. Doesn't mean it's good. It just means that's like speaks to you most personally. And there's stuff that's just like, damn, that was a good piece of media I watched. And that's how I feel about Fullmetal Alchemist. But we're going to be talking about episode 14, Those Who Lurk Underground, and episode 15, The Envoy from the East. I'm so excited. We're going to meet hopefully one of my favorite characters. So, not my most favorite. But
the one that you ship with somebody?
No.
Okay.
No. I mean, do I ship that character with somebody? Maybe. But not who I'm talking about.
Okay.
Anyway, until next time, I'm Clother.
I'm Dara Whitman.
Peace.
Also, if we think about it, if they would have like told her what they were going to do, it never would have happened because she would have been like, no, here's why.
Yeah, she would have been like, absolutely fucking not.
Not because she's an adult, because she experienced it.
Exactly.
I was like, listen.
So when you said that, the teacher's gonna kill him, I was like, you have no idea. Because she knows.
But like, if I knew that, I wouldn't think she would have killed him. It's like, look, I understand why you did it, but like, and like, it's like that thing of like, you did the bad thing, but like, so you went through enough trauma.
Yeah. God, I love her.
Could somebody get Al?
Yeah, he'll be fine.
There's a woman in this spot, in his mecha suit, that can like...
Sometimes that's a good thing.